Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Tide Dry Cleaners, 4511 98th Street, also at 19th and Quaker Avenue. Give them a shot. I think they'll be your new dry cleaner and laundry place that you'll go because they take great care of you.
Without a doubt.
And really, really fine what they've done there, Brett Stravolo and his team. And it's crazy what they have just, these businesses, and they do businesses that they think are really, really good and profitable. And they are because how they do it.
If you do things right.
Yeah.
It can be profitable.
That's what they do. Tide Dry Cleaners. Go see them. Lubbock Sports Medicine, the finest in orthopedic care in this part of the world, and people from all over this part of the country come here to get these doctors.
A lot of people think if you go outside the loop, you get it's got to be better. It's in Dallas or it's in San Antonio. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Not necessorily.
In fact, we heard a horror story lately.
I'm very happy with, like I said, all 5 of my family members they've done something to us. Cut us and done something.
Yeah.
I'd show y'all my cadaver Achilles, but I can't get my leg up that high anymore.
I can't already get my shoes on.
Anyway.
I need to go see him and say, I can't get my shoes on. What do I do? Get those slip-on shoes.
So anyway, Lubbock Sports Medicine.
Go to LubbockSportsMed.com and check them out.
Oh, look at there. Look who showed up.
No, he didn't. He's too big a deal to be on our show.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Tucker?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and we can hear you. Hey, you
good.
can tell we got a young person on because when we get old people on the show, it never works the first time. This Zooming deal just never works.
Yeah.
So you can tell. Anyway, guys, that's Tucker Horn you're looking at on the TV. If you're listening on the radio, this is just a good-looking young fella. Probably, what are you, 22, 23?
24.
I got to put my
24.
Yeah.
My gosh, Tucker.
24.
Well, we're just almost related because I used to go to the Lake Brownwood with your great-grandparents and your grandparents and played ball with your granddad. I took your grandmother out a time or two until we figured out she is just way too sweet for me. So we
You took his grandmother out?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
and then
right.
Larry said,
and then won a state championship with your granddad.
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir.
David was asking me where do you think he got his athletic ability from? Was it his dad,
where did it
his
start?
granddad?
Where did it start? James and Vi.
I'm gonna say Vi because
Vi was she's a fireball, wasn't she?
We were scared of Vi.
Yeah, everybody was scared of Vi.
Yeah, everybody in any sense was scared of Vi. So anyway.
Well, it's Tucker Horn, y'all, and man, he's had a great career in high school at Graham. Y'all won almost all your games while you were at Graham, didn't you? How many did you lose in high school?
Sir.
How many did you lose?
Well, my junior year we went pretty mediocre 7-5, and then my senior year we lost in the semifinals to Texarkana Pleasant Grove, and we went 14-1.
Good.
Did y'all play in Lubbock that year?
Yes, sir. We played Bushland, Amarillo Bushland.
Yeah, Bushland's good.
And y'all were the visitors, and I came and watched you play. That's what I'm saying. We're almost related. I came and sat over on the visitor side and watched you play.
It's a good thing he didn't marry in the family because you wouldn't be near as good at football. You might be a better baseball player.
No, probably not.
No,
probably not.
No.
But anyway, you did the Graham thing, and then you started a horn tradition at Trinity.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I started out at Abilene Christian, where my father went to school for a little bit, and then I transferred to Trinity, and we are going 3 strong there. I graduated in December. My brother's finishing out his senior year there, and then Welker is finishing up at Lubbock Christian and is already committed to Trinity. So we're super excited. We love this place.
And Welker won last night pretty handily, didn't he?
Yes, sir. Welker and the Eagles won last night. Staff did a great job. Coach Softly did a great job. It was awesome.
Now, what are you coaching? You're on that staff, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. What do you coach?
I coach running backs and tight ends and D line.
Okay.
So,
You could have come in
yes,
here.
sir.
Well,
in
no,
Lubbock?
no. Tell them why you can't come in here today, because you're not here anymore. You're in San Antonio.
I'm in San Antonio watching my brother Raider Horn
Oh.
play today. Yes, sir. He's got a game against Swanee University out of Tennessee. So
Swanee.
Did you
Yes,
always?
sir.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing the careers you guys have had, and I'm so glad.
And are having.
I'm so glad Welker's here at Lubbock Christian. And Coach Softly, he's so great, isn't he?
man, he's awesome. I haven't been around too many staffs that are held to as high of a standard as he holds his staff to, and put in as much work as he does. He does a really, really great job of not only on the football side, but from a Christian aspect of just growing young men into leaders of families and leaders of the world. So he's doing a great job at Lubbock Christian.
Wow.
He is, and they'll probably keep him because he's so Christian. A lot of schools couldn't hire him probably. He's such a dedicated Christian man. It's phenomenal.
Well,
Really
Art,
great.
you left Abilene Christian and went to Trinity. Was that like an NIL deal? What's the deal there? There's got to
No,
be a
that was
story there.
That was before NIL, but my coaching staff was leaving Abilene Christian, and I felt like at the Division III level where Trinity is, coaches don't move around too much. They're rooted in their beliefs and their school system. And Coach Urban played at Trinity and then played in the NFL, and I wanted to go play for an awesome coach, an awesome man, and that's what I got at Trinity. So I wanted to be somewhere where I knew I wasn't going to get left behind by a coach. So,
All right, and at Trinity, help me out here because I forget lots of stuff. But you were voted like the best athlete in a non-FBS program. Is that in Texas or is that in like the world?
I think last year I was on the all Texas non-FBS team. Player of the year on the non-FBS all Texas team. So
Can't
so
get
out of
that
all
on
the
a plaque, can
schools
you?
That were not
You'd have to have a
FBS,
really big
so.
plaque. If you
Yeah,
put all that
that's
cool
great.
thing that they,
Well,
cool
listen to
thing that Dave
this.
Campbell's does. They do a good job.
I got his records here. School record, 67.7% passing completion record. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's important.
167.2 quarterback efficiency rating. He threw for 8,876 yards, that's total offense. So you ran some too, didn't you?
A little bit. I'm not the fleetest of foot, but that was probably a very, very small percentage.
Well, if you're anything like your dad or especially your granddad, then when you were running, you probably didn't avoid contact. You probably seeked it. Because you come from a tough line of men.
Not the smoothest of hips. Not able to change direction very well. I get that from my dad.
I would have changed directions, but I can't. So I just ran over you.
I'm looking at stuff on Tucker, and I came up with this video that's on, and I don't even know where I was. I wander aimlessly on that stuff, but it's a picture of Jeff, and he's getting in the golf cart, and then all of a sudden he runs like a little girl. He's just screaming and running. And there was a snake in the car.
Jeff Horn?
Yeah.
And he's running like a girl.
Yeah, like a little girl. And
Yep.
and Tucker had put a fake snake in the cart. And I thought,
He deserves that, Tucker. And
Yeah.
you know he's better than
That was
anybody.
that was down in Houston. That was a good memory. He said if I ever did that again, he would probably kill me. So that was a fun time though.
well, you know what? The day is coming where he can't kill you anymore. Now you're not there yet, but he's fixing to start getting older and older, and then you'll be
I'm
able
not
to.
there yet.
Yeah.
He's,
So anyway,
I don't know where he finds his dad's strength, but I'm sure it's still there. I'm
right.
a little timid to take on that.
great family of athletes, and you have just signed with the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League. All right, the Canadian Football League is playing right now, and you're sitting in San Antonio. So tell me what's the deal here? What's going on?
So I signed a future contract, so I will be. It'll go into effect in February. I'm part of the organization. I've talked with the coaches and their staff, and there's a little bit of a learning curve with the Canadian game. There's 12 people on the field. There's a couple of different rules. The field's bigger. there's the waggle motion where a bunch of receivers can be in motion at the same time. So it's not like an American quarterback can, go up there and immediately pick it up.
Yeah.
It's something that you kind of, in order to get a fair shot of making a team, it's something that you really need an off season and a full camp to have a really good shot of, getting on the team. So I will be, all in next year and on the next go around, and I'm rooting them on right now as they just got secured their spot in the playoffs. But that's kind of how it goes. I mean, that's kind of the normal cycle for American QBs. So
okay, well, I look at the Canadian Football League as sort of helter skelter because the wide receivers can just start running toward the line of scrimmage, and you best snap the ball before they get off sides, and then the end zone's like 20 yards, isn't it? The end zone itself, not 10 yards, it's 20 yards. So lots can go on in the end zones of the Canadian Football League that can't go on here.
It's almost like six-man football. Everybody's just running everywhere. It's really kind of fun.
Everybody's running everywhere, but I think at its core, it's still football. I mean, this is my first year to really watch a lot of games, and man, I thought it was going to be super high scoring, but it's not. The defenses are great. They're doing some super sound adjustments. There's people from all over the place, like really big schools. I mean, this is it's probably second to the NFL. So the talent there is crazy. I mean, I'm going through the list. I'm seeing people from Texas Tech, Ohio State, Purdue. I mean, it's really wild the amount of people that are there and the level of play that goes on. So it's just a little bit of a learning adjustment with the type of football that is played.
And I don't know if it's in your plans or not, but there's lots of players go from the Canadian Football League to the NFL too. I think Warren Moon, wasn't he a Canadian football player? And then
that's right. Joe Barnes, who was one of the Tech's greatest quarterbacks of all time, had a great career in the Canadian League. Won the Grey Cup, and I
think Rodney played in the Canadian League.
Yeah, he did.
Our buddy Rodney Allison.
But Joe was the guy that I knew that
he was a Grey Cup
winner. He won the Grey Cup. They won the Grey Cup.
You know what that is, Tucker?
Yep. The Super Bowl for the.
I was trying to stump you.
League.
Well, it starts in May, the season, right?
Sure.
May of 2025. Tucker Horn will be there. He'll be playing quarterback. Quarterback. That's the plan, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, and then the Grey Cup, which is the Super Bowl for the Canadian League, is in November.
Yep.
That's
a couple
cool.
Weeks here coming up.
You ever keep up? You ever go back to Graham and watch them play, or you're probably legendary there, aren't you?
So my offensive coordinator was he moved after I graduated to Navasota, was the head coach and athletic director down in Navasota, south of College Station, I think. And then he moved back to Graham and is now the OC again there. So he is one of the direct contacts I have with that staff over there. And I love talking to him. He's one of my best friends and greatest mentors. And I love talking to him and love keeping up with how they're doing. So I definitely pay attention to them.
Good.
You seem like a serious kid. Are you a serious kid, or you got what's the craziest thing you ever did?
Snake. He scared his dad.
See, because your granddad was borderline crazy, and your dad was but you seem like way grounded and way serious. Is that? Am I reading you right?
I'm pretty serious. I mean, I like to joke around, but I've been so scared to death of messing up and with my parents for my whole life that I've been kind of an old soul for a long time. But there's pros and cons to that. But I definitely try to look at the good parts of that.
Well, you come from a great family, and Larry, your granddad, he's kind of crazy a little bit, but my impression, he's very serious about what he's doing.
Oh,
very serious. In fact, he's yelling at Coach Magel in the state championship game, or the state semifinals, or I can't remember.
Yeah.
They were behind, and he was yelling at him to put me in. And Coach Magel could hear him. Coach Magel told us I could hear him yelling at me. And so he goes and puts him in, and then Monterey wins the game and in the state championship.
But, I have no doubt about that, because he when he gets something he cares about, man, he's all in, and that's kind of how it is with all my family. They're just, once they are a part of something or committed to something, man, they are bar none. Everything goes into that. So
Well,
I can definitely understand that.
both your dad and granddad won state championships too, and that's just doesn't happen that frequently.
No.
And they blew the chance for a three-peat when they moved to Graham. When Jeff moved to Graham, he could have set you over at Monterey and won a state championship.
In Monterey.
I know.
Yeah.
Were you a pretty good baseball player?
Sorry?
You play baseball? You a pretty good baseball player?
I played baseball all the way through high school.
Yeah.
So growing up since I was 5 to graduation.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
We love your family.
Yes, sir.
We do. And Jeff, of course, Jeff kind of got sponsoring our show here, with Benchmark back in the day. And we just appreciate your family and love your family. And stay up with you guys. We watch you guys and how you're doing.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate that very much. We really do.
All right, you talked about fear of screwing up because of your parents. Is your mother or Vi tougher? Who would you, if you put them in the ring, who would come out?
Oh my goodness. I've had more experience with my mom, but man, she is, I think a lot of people would describe her from the outside as a firecracker. She is very, very loving, don't get me wrong, but man, she will keep you in line and she expects the most out of her horn men. I mean, she is a great leader of the household.
Expects the most out of her horn men.
She is definitely really tough. She'll whip you into shape if she needs to.
All right, ask your grandmother a question for me. Ask her why she went from LaDonna to Donna. You probably never knew her as LaDonna, did you? She dropped the law, and I'm wondering why.
But I will definitely ask her that.
Okay, all right. Hey, we wish you well. We look forward to seeing how they turns out with the Argonauts, and we'll become Canadian football fans.
We'll be following you, Tucker.
Man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And good luck to Trinity today. Hope y'all get to see a good one.
Thanks for being on the show.
Sir.
All right.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You bet. Tell your dad hey for us.
Yep.
Will do.
All right. Appreciate you.
Tucker Horn.
New Toronto Argonaut.
An Argonaut.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
From a great
I don't know
Lubbock
what
family.
it means. Was that where they look for the golden fleece?
Argonauts?
Jason and the Argonauts?
Yeah.
Is that them?
We'll look it up.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, all right.
Hey.
I got to looking at my. All right. Las Brisas.
Sort of Fonzie-ish.
I know it. Hey. Las Brisas at Southwest Steakhouse out at 114th and Topeka in the Falls. And for the finest in dining in Lubbock and this whole surrounding area. And special events, this is the place to go. But any kind of event.
You can get your Sunday go to meeting zone and go down there and for a fancy dinner out, or you can get your shorts and be dressed like David and I today.
I think a lot of people think that, Gary, that you got to be dressed up to go to Las Brisas. And you do not. And I'm glad you said that because
you do need to be dressed.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be dressed up.
You don't. You can wear shorts and a golf shirt and everything will be fine. And so just, don't be
a complete slob. I mean, you're going to a nice place. So
yeah. Who would you think might fit that deal?
A slob?
Yeah. Don't say.
I don't know many slobs.
I know it. Trying to eliminate them.
Yeah. Most of my friends have outgrown the slob stage.
Yeah, they went through that.
Borderline mature now.
But Las Brisas, y'all, go out and see them. It's just absolutely delicious food and great service and everything else that goes with it. First class.
All right. We said we'd do it, and by golly, we did it. Tell you what an Argonaut is.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hero of Greek mythology, the Argonauts. So there you have it. I guess it'd be heroes of Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Unless there was just one of them.
Well, no, because Jason had the Argonauts.
That's right.
He did. Jason and the Argonauts.
And then during the break, David, we're going down memory lane, talking about the horns and all that. He talked about Bobby Pipkin passing away, and Bobby was one of our classmates, not David's but ours, at our age group, and he was part of that bunch that came over from Hutchinson. It was Pipkin, Anderson, and Roselle. And I swear all of them were shaving in junior high.
Yeah. What's up with those guys?
And they were so much faster than us. And it's sort of like, where'd you guys come from? But Pipkin,
are you Argonauts?
Are y'all Argonauts or what? So anyway.
Well, I remember, you always had a few of those.
Pipkin, Anderson, and Roselle. It's sort of like.
Yeah, like a law firm.
Yeah. But they were good ones. let's see. Our buddy down in Houston sent us a picture of his sons, Brooks's, and I think that Brooks is named after Brooks Wallace, like a lot of Brookses are running around here, like Brooks Gustafson. He said this is his son's winning black marlin yesterday in Cabo, and I wished I could show it to you because that marlin is way bigger, way longer, taller than the people that caught it. So anyway, that's a good-looking fish.
It's unbelievable. How long does it take to get that fish in the boat? And you have to have a big boat to get it in there.
Yeah, you can't. That's right. You're not out there in a canoe with that thing. All right.
It'd pull you way off.
Then he also texted and said he sees where Danny Amendola is honoring Coach Leach with his next dance on Dancing with the Stars. We tape Dancing with the Stars, and we'll watch it sometimes. I'm not against it at all.
Don't tell people.
But Danny's in there, and let me tell you, Danny has got the shiniest partner that she's plenty shiny. She's
shiny.
I think they'll get votes just so people want to see, I forget what her name is, Shiny. They just want to see Shiny come back the next week. So Danny ought to go pretty far in this thing.
Yeah, he could fall down. Y'all won.
Yeah, that's right. Good job, Shiny. So anyway, Dancing with the Stars next week. The Amendola's honoring Mike Leach with his performance next week.
I wonder what that means. How do you just say this is for Mike Leach? Or
it's a tribute.
Or do you fall down? Or
I think all the ones left will probably have this dance is
I didn't know.
Tribute to, and he's chosen Mike Leach.
I saw Dancing with the Stars once, and I only saw it till I could change the channel. That's how much I saw.
What I'm amazed at is that these girls that dance, and they can flat dance, and there's guys that dance, and they can flat dance too, but I don't see how their outfits stay on.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just scantily clothed. That's why I don't watch it all that much.
It's just when Terry's gone.
No, when Terry's there. I only watch it with Terry because I feel guilty if I'm.
You going back to Reynosa? Okay. Stay a while.
So anyway,
we got a whole bunch of them taped.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I did want to mention before we go too far that Jacob Rodriguez, who played absolutely phenomenal.
Good gosh, didn't he?
God, he was like All-American.
The whole defense last week, you're just sitting there going, who are these guys?
Were you guys against Abilene Christian?
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's different guys. And maybe it is. Maybe we went into the portal and got a bunch of new guys.
He was the National Defensive Player of the Week. And he had to be.
But
I don't know who could be.
Something more unique than that.
What?
He was not the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week. There you have it.
Come on.
That's a big conference.
Yeah. He was the national player, but he wasn't the Big 12 Player of the Week. Right. That's ridiculous.
So anyway.
He helped us seal the deal. I mean, really.
Oh.
That punch out, that receiver is awesome for Arizona. T-Mac.
Yeah.
That guy could play in the pros today.
I'm going to tell you what, without that little punch out,
we might get beat.
And you know what? I'm wondering, I guess that's legal, but last night I was watching the game and a guy threw that and it was like he's doing that punch out, but the ball wasn't anywhere near where he was punching.
Oh.
So they threw a 15-yard penalty on him because you can't just go and punch people. I'm surprised you can punch the ball out.
Yeah.
You know, if you do it in a tackling motion, that's one thing, but if you're just taking a swing.
Yeah. He hit it perfect.
Perfect. And let me tell you what, I do not know that we win the game without it.
Yeah.
Because they had their kicker, he had missed one, but he was plenty good.
Yeah.
And he was plenty long. So I'm going to say is about a 70% chance we don't win that game.
How big was that win, and how big was the win over Arizona State, who then last night beat Utah 27-19?
And this shows how important a quarterback is. Utah's quarterback finally gets back, and he's supposed to be good. Now, he is one scary-looking guy.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a quarterback.
Yeah, it looks like something on what's that cartoon with?
He's scary looking.
Yeah, what is that show? It's in Denver. It's South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a character from South Park. So anyway, he
what does that mean?
He finally gets back. We'll go watch South Park and you'll see.
I thought those were those little bitty guys.
Some of them, they're all little bitty.
Walk like that.
They are, but they're all different. So they're all different kinds.
There are.
Yeah, they're all, yeah.
What do they call them? Argonauts?
No, just South Parkians.
South Parkians.
Anyway, he finally got back, and it was like the second play of the game. He gets rolled up on.
Oh, no.
And now he's hobbling around, and he didn't look like he could have quarterbacked Lubbock High last night. I mean, it was pitiful, but it just shows how important the quarterback role is.
So he's done?
No, he played the whole game. He just didn't play with the turn. Yeah, he's pretty tough.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, pretty tough.
And he can run it.
But anyway, so you're right. Arizona State did beat, and that just makes what you did look even better. And by beating Arizona State, and this conference is crazy. I mean, literally, worst could beat first.
Yeah.
And probably has. I mean, because who did Houston beat the other day?
TCU.
Yeah, after going 2 weeks without scoring, they beat TCU. And then TCU's liable. Does TCU play today?
Yeah, I think. No, they don't. They're off. Okay. I got the whole schedule right here, the Big 12. This is good. And we TCU's not playing, but they're not Big 12 anymore.
And Baylor's not playing today.
No, the big game today is Texas and Oklahoma. That'll be fun. See how those two former Big 12 teams play.
Very former.
Yeah, very former. But there's some good games today. We're
pretty sure that's not proper English.
Yeah, I think we're getting to some good games now. Where we have some games that aren't that. I picked all the good games.
All right, let's hear them.
To watch. Texas is favored by 15 over Oklahoma.
And let me tell you what. If they can, they will beat them by 30.
Yeah.
Because OU has really embarrassed Texas recently. I think they've won 11 out of the last 15. And OU's starting the first time in the history of this 100-year-plus matchup is they're starting a freshman. And the freshman's never started in the Texas OU football game.
That'll be different.
Yeah. OU's starting a freshman.
2:30 on ABC if you want to watch it. And Cincinnati plays UCF. UCF's favored by 3. That's on ESPN at 2:30. Arizona and BYU. Now, this will be interesting because BYU's undefeated, and they're 3-point favorite at home.
Just pick any Big 12 game, and it's usually like 3, 3.5, usually less than a touchdown every Big 12 game.
All four of the Big 12 games today are 3 or 3.5.
Yeah.
That's the
point. The whole conference is like that.
Yeah. Iowa State, number 11. Iowa State's the highest-ranked team now in the Big 12, undefeated. They play at 7 tonight on Fox against West Virginia, at West Virginia.
And there are those that say, well, don't pull for the Big 12 teams and all. We're going to have nothing but meaningless games if we don't have somebody like an Iowa State or some of them need to, and Texas Tech needs to be one of those.
Yeah. That
you get up there, and then when somebody plays you, it's a big darn deal instead of just who cares games.
Yeah. Kansas State's at Colorado. Now, this could be a
well, that's going to be a
3.5
separator.
3.5's the Kansas State.
Is Colorado the real deal, or are they not?
They play at 9:15 tonight on ESPN. So you can give something to do when you get home late.
All right. Now, who is it playing?
They're playing Colorado. They're an hour different.
Who's playing them?
Kansas State.
Well, none of those are in the western part of the United States.
Well, Colorado.
They are in Mountain Time, but Mountain Time, that's still, what, 8:15?
Yeah, it's late.
Come on, TV.
They're just wherever they can take advantage. I guess the game of the day is Ohio State at Oregon, number 2 versus number 3. And Ohio State's favored at Oregon by 3, 6:30 tonight on NBC.
I wished I could help y'all bet on this stuff, but I'm the absolute last person to ask.
Well, then you could tell them, and they could go the other way.
Okay.
That'd be a good plan.
I'd say take Ohio State, take Texas.
So we bet on Oklahoma and Oregon.
I would if I was you.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So anyway.
It's pretty surprising. There's some good games today. And Tech's not playing. It's kind of weird to have that Tech not playing.
You know what? I'm not a big fan of the bye, except for I am for us, because this is a good time of the year.
Yeah.
We've played 6 games. Great time for a bye. I don't know if Kirby helped them draw up the schedule this year or not, but this schedule is laid out, to me, as good as a schedule could possibly be laid out. We had the teams that you should be able to beat early.
Yep.
Now we're going to get into a little tougher games, but we're starting to feel a little better about ourselves, and our defense is playing better. Our offense has stayed pretty healthy. So we got a bye. So here we go into the tougher part of the schedule with, I think, confidence and our health. So anyway, I'm pretty sure Kirby didn't draw up the schedule, but whoever did couldn't have drawn it up any better for us.
We have no Utah and no Kansas State.
No Iowa State, do we? Yeah, we do play Iowa State.
Yeah, we play Iowa State. That'll be. We just need to take care of business with Baylor. I'm so glad we're playing them home and home again now, not going to that Dallas deal.
And we're trying to have John Morris, who's the voice of the Baylor Bears, on next week. But the football team is flying in Friday, going to have their walkthrough and all that. But apparently the radio crew is coming in Saturday. Apparently they don't trust their radio crew in Lubbock, Texas on Friday night. That's the only thing I can think of.
Understand that. Bunch of wild men.
Bunch of wild Baylor Baptists. So I don't know if we're going to have him on or not because he'll be in transit. So,
what? You hung up on me yesterday when you were telling me that.
What did I tell you?
You were telling me about John Morrison that they were flying. You didn't get to the part about they were flying because the phone call went away for some reason.
Oh. Huh.
And you didn't. I thought you'd call me back if it was important, and you didn't. So I just let it go. Hurt my feelings a little bit, but I'm okay now.
I'm assuming that they're flying.
Yeah.
I don't know how the budget is down there for that crew.
Yeah.
Hey, before we forget, the Distinguished Alumni Dinner for 2024 for Texas Tech.
Uh-huh.
There's a couple of people being honored that I think you will know, and their names are not on the invitation.
You know that?
Yeah, they are. You know who one of them is?
Uh-uh.
He's been on the show.
I don't know.
Randy Golden.
Yeah.
From the class of 77. He was a class of 73 Monterey Plainsman, but he is one of the distinguished alumni.
What distinguished him?
I think money.
You gave him a lot of money, and he gave some to Tech.
I think he was distinguished by...
You and I could be that. The only thing that's keeping us out is the distinguished deal. They would take that away, just put alumni.
Yeah.
We could
2024 alumni honorees. And then another one is founder and CEO of Lee Lewis Construction. Who do you think it is?
Lee Lewis.
Lee Lewis.
He's a Monterey guy.
So that's pretty good. And I do not know Ron Butler, but he is also one. He's vice president and chief administrative officer. This is an important call. I got to take it, Dave.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. It's the president. It's Joe Biden. Okay. All right. We got
Rick's here.
Rick could text. He
might have.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact.
You got a picture of Rick there.
He did text. I'm at the door, and I didn't hear the text. So
all right.
He did the right smart thing.
He tried to. He tried to be professional, but you just wouldn't let him.
Just would not let him. So.
All right. Well.
Anyway, hopefully we'll have John Morris, voice of the Baylor Bears.
That'll be good.
Week. And, Baylor's not going all that great right now, but
Sawyer Robertson.
Houston wasn't going all that great.
Yeah.
When they played TCU, and look what happened. So.
I'm excited to watch him because of Sawyer. Sawyer's a good court. He's a player.
So you're going to go to the Tech Baylor game because of Sawyer?
No, I'm pulling against him, but I like him. He's a good kid. Good young man.
Good kid. Pull on in, Rick.
Oh, we're going to a break. Can you?
Are we? How long till the break?
The music's playing.
Oh, okay. Wait a second.
It's a new deal we started on our show 15 years ago.
Well, I don't have my headset on.
That's another deal we have on our show, headsets.
Oh, the music's playing. We're going to a break.
Yeah, and look at Brennan. He's waving and doing signs. We'll be right back.
Okay,
Greg Dykes
is
here.
Now.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Anyway, Golf USA, they got everything you're looking for golf-wise. Now, if you need one of them carts that you ride around in, you can't get that there, but everything else, automatic carts that you can drive into the lake. Yes. I know a guy that drove his into the lake.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
It still doesn't work. I've kept it, hoping it'll dry out. But
Put rice in it.
It still
That's
doesn't
where you got
work.
to pack it in rice. All right, go see him. 67th and Indiana Avenue, and HG Thrash Clothing Company. What a place! I'm telling you, Howard and Jeremy. Howard started this in 1989, and he is just a clothier. That's not what they're called. He's
Haberdasher.
Haberdasher. He is, and runs. It's one of the finest men's stores you'll find anywhere. And it's right here in Lubbock. They're at 2010 Broadway. They're also the new one out in Kingsgate, and you will love their stores if you haven't been. I know y'all have all been in there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Go see them again. Rick, you shop there.
Yeah, Rick's a sharp
You get these
dressed
little
man.
bracelets here, like this little deal right here that Rick's wearing. Most people go to women's stores to get those, but they've got them at Howard's.
They do.
Yeah, HG Thrash.
Yeah.
Do they?
I bought it
Yes.
because I saw you wearing one.
Yeah, it's very becoming. All right, Rick Dykes is here. We're honored to have him here with us, and of course, we skipped the Remax commercial in the last break because we wanted you here, and you're involved. You're one of the part owners of this company, and I know you've been in real estate a long time as an owner of property. But
Yeah. And, real estate's a little slow right now with interest rates and everything. But, our agents at Remax are all over it. And we do a great job there. We've had that franchise now for close to 25 years.
No way, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think it's actually 22, I think, right now. But
Scott Tolman
and Tony Lloyd. And, those are great guys, great partners. They're really experts in real estate. And, Tony is on a lot of national boards, and he stays really busy promoting, West Texas and West Texas real estate all over the country. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, we do a great
They're
job.
good folks.
Yeah.
They really are. Y'all got a good team, and
we have a great team.
New office out there at 107th in Milwaukee.
A lot of experienced agents. Our agents have a lot of experience, and they really do a nice job.
Like Carol and Aubrey Bishop. I've heard those names in the real estate business for 30 years probably.
Yeah, they've been practicing real estate for I bet closer to 40 years for Aubrey.
Yeah.
So I did it for a long time, and they were really busy back when I was in it.
Yeah,
good
and
people.
they're still busy. They still stay busy.
And David's friends with Lori Manning, who's one of the top agents there.
Lori's about as good as it's a number. She does the numbers.
Oh, she does the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't see her much in the office anymore. But,
yeah, they work out of their house a lot.
do.
Yeah.
And but Lori does a great job for us. Yeah.
Y'all have sales meetings?
We do on Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
We still do, and we still have tour. So.
You still have tour?
Yeah,
Good.
we're going to make sure we see all the houses that are for sale, and so when clients come in, we can really take care of them. So,
That's good.
Yeah, we do it every week.
Tours always was a kind of a pain.
It is
for the realtors.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story about that. Cheryl Isaacs, who worked with me at Coldwell Banker years ago, and so she's out of town, and we're going to tour one of her houses, and so she tells us, here's the address, here's where it is. So we go, and Kirk Snyder, he goes in first, and they get all the lights on, and the people are there. Hey, we're here to tour the house, and he turns the light. The people's okay, and so he turns all the lights on. We're standing out front. We talk about the property before we go through it, to get everybody a little information about it. So we start going through the house, and this family is sitting in there on the couch, and we're speaking to them as we go by. How are y'all? And anyway, so finally toward the end, they go, "Now, what are y'all here for?" And we said, "We're here to tour the house that Cheryl got it listed for sale." And she goes, "Our house isn't for sale. We're at the wrong house." They let us in.
What a wonderful family. Come on in.
They let us in. We're walking around looking at all their closets. And
our house isn't for sale.
I've never heard of that, David.
I know it. Well, it was. Kirk had to go to the door and say, "We're here to look at the house," and the people said, "Okay,
come on in."
Oh man,
it just shows you if you act like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
you can do a lot of things.
Kind of like this show, huh?
Yeah, we're just acting like it for 15 years.
Oh man,
that's great. All right. Now, before we get into one of the reasons you're here, let's talk some college football, because Tony and I are wanting to know, who should we bet on today, Rick?
I got that right there, Rick. Those are the good games right there.
Well, there are some great games, aren't there?
Yeah.
From here on out, there's going to be great games.
There are. And this is a really good week for college football.
Who would you take in the Ohio State-Oregon game?
It's
tough.
I think I'd probably take Ohio State. I would have said Oregon at the first year.
Yeah.
But Gabriel hasn't shown the improvement, and really as comfortable in the offense at Oregon as I thought he would be. Dylan Gabriel. So.
Yeah.
And that's playing against teams that aren't near as good a defensive line as Ohio State's going to throw at him. So
I would say I'd take Ohio State in that game.
See, that's a logical conclusion you made there. I don't think like that. I think, they're wearing green. That'll mess them up.
Well, they're at home and they get points.
Yeah.
That's one of the old sayings in gambling.
Yeah.
Home team and points.
Yeah.
Always take the home team and points.
I always remember in the NFL there was a rule of 7. If the home team was an underdog by 7 or more, it was for sure the home team was going to cover.
Yeah. And there's still a lot of truth in that.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Texas-Oklahoma game, everybody's picking Texas to blow Oklahoma out.
I sure think they should, but
they should. But in a rivalry game like that,
rivalry game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, you'll get Oklahoma's very best effort, and it would not surprise me if it doesn't come down to the fourth quarter. So
who's going quarterback? Ewers is back.
Yeah, Ewers is back.
How do you put Manning on the bench?
I know, but the great thing about it, isn't it nice to be in a situation like that where, Manning has accepted his role, and he's not talking about transferring all the time, and he's not upset because he
was raised right.
I mean, he was, and they've done it just right. I mean, they've got him in there, and he's got experience, and when he steps in next year, man, he's going to be really, really good.
They sort of forced UT to put hair on his belly, and he's got some hair on his belly now.
He does.
That's a Spike saying, isn't it?
Maybe
some hair on your belly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Sounds
it is pretty gross.
It's grosser in women's sports. It's not too bad in men's sports.
No, but I think that should end up being a really good football game today. I'm excited about that game.
Yeah.
That
and
game
what time is that one?
2:30 on ABC.
All right, we're going to have to tape the first part because we're going to be at Doyle's service.
By the way, I went last night, and you told me you would be there.
I know. I didn't get there till 6:30. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
David.
Well, I asked everybody, where's Rick? Where's Rick?
I know.
No, I didn't. I went in, so I walk in. First people I see, it's before 6 because I've got to go do the game.
Yeah.
This is the visitation for Doyle Parker.
And so I see Coach Myers and John Sims and Debbie, his wife.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and of course Coach Myers is sitting between them. And, John's, so that's, hey, how are y'all doing? And John goes, my wife, Debbie. And I said, yes, I'm sorry.
Sorry for Debbie?
Yeah. She says, I get that a lot.
She does, actually.
She's married to John.
Yeah.
But it was good. There was a guy shows up. Well, but he comes up, sees Coach Myers. He didn't see me. He probably didn't care if he see me anyway. But he sees Coach Myers, and his name's Fred Satterwhite. Well, Fred Satterwhite is a longtime Ropes principal, superintendent. He's been at Ropes. So I said, Fred, so he knows my family. He was best friends with my aunt and uncle and in Ropes. And so he says, I said, what are you doing here? He goes, Doyle Parker and I were in class together. We graduated together from Andrews. And you just think back of all of the people that Doyle Parker touched. And, of course, he had such great things to say about Doyle even back then.
Oh, of course he did, yeah. It was crazy at the chapel last night that just the people that stopped by. So in 1968, when they moved to Big Spring, they had a quarterback named, it wasn't Bradley, it was Bill, might have been Bradley. Anyway, I can't recall from last night, but I remember him because at 8 years old, I used to go to every practice. I mean, we were down there we were really involved as youngsters, and he had heard about it and drove up for the service, and going to stay for the service.
And drove up from where?
He drove up from Big Spring to the meeting, to the chapel last night, and came up.
Is there a list of all the places that Doyle coached? Because it has to be more than a dozen.
I don't know if they're all on here, but a bunch of them are.
Yeah.
He coached. That's the bowl games he coached. He coached at Tech 12 years. Yeah.
Yeah. He got there in '88.
Yeah. And you coached there. What year did you first start?
I started in 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were on that that was a great staff.
It was really a great staff.
Yeah. Who else were we talking about the other day? Defense coordinator.
John Goodner.
Yeah. But and then of course Winder.
Yeah,
Dick Winder,
Ted Umbehagen, and Carlos Maynard, and
what
Clovis
a group.
Hale.
Clovis Hale, Dean Slayton.
Dean Slayton. That's one of the tougher men
Dean
I've
Campbell.
ever around.
Dean Campbell.
I heard he's going to come today.
Yeah, Larry Hofer.
Yeah.
Rudy Maskew.
Yeah, Rudy.
David Moody.
David will be there.
Ivy Williams coached with us. I mean, we really had some really great football coaches on that staff.
That is so awesome.
But none as good as Coach Parker.
All right, now when you were born, was Coach Parker in y'all's?
No.
In your parents'
I was
lives?
born in Eastland in 60, and I first met Coach in 65, I think.
Okay, so you're 5 years old.
I was 5 years old, yeah.
All right, those on TV, I'm fixing to show you a picture of Coach Parker. He's on the front page of the media guide. And these media guys, this is fascinating. They printed them every week for the game.
Yeah, program.
So when you went to the game, for $3, you could have, and let me tell you.
I can remember that. It's nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you, and this is Monte Rager and Doyle Parker.
Who was telling us about Monte? Will
1998.
Culpepper was telling us that he had talked to Monte about it. And,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Is Monte coming in?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Monte about it since that happened, since Coach Parker passed. But I do have.
Yeah, that's good. It's always something.
I have a great story about Monte that I'm going to share at the service today. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to tell it now?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, what are you going to talk about?
Well, I tell you, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
I know
with Coach
it.
Parker.
Oh my!
I mean,
I was telling Gary earlier, and I was telling a good friend earlier about the. I think the word to me, and there's so many great words that describe Coach Parker,
Yeah.
but the word that encompasses everything. He was a gracious man.
He was gracious and so humble.
Oh,
and
just
yeah. He's the best man I've ever known. So.
Oh, wow.
that's saying something.
Wow. You sit here between David and I and say that.
Yeah, I had to give it some thought, serious thought.
No, he is.
He was just, well,
He's as good a guy as I've ever
consider
known.
us men yet.
I mean, he was.
You know, my father-in-law died last week, and
Yeah.
I'm going to put Doyle right there with my father-in-law. Just good men that
Yeah, Tom was
just didn't say
something else.
bad things about people.
No, he didn't.
He really
And he was so
didn't.
positive. I always look forward to our Tuesday lunches.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you knew he was going to add something positive. I mean, you walked in and that smile he always greeted you with. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he
Yeah.
was just he was just special.
When he wasn't there, it was different. I mean, he just brings
he does.
he just really does.
He set the tone when he came in, didn't he, David?
Yeah, he's just that kind of a guy. I don't know. He's a special man,
He
and I
is.
wish he was still here.
I do too.
Well, we're lucky we got to spend
Yeah.
as much time as we did with him because he could have settled at a lot of places, and he settled here in Lubbock
Yep.
with Tech and all. And
And he lived 87 years.
Yeah,
that's right.
So he didn't get cheated,
no,
but it's still, it's still.
but he had reached a point. Some things were happening in his life.
They were.
that were
yeah.
really fun.
They were.
And-
He was traveling again. Had found a new girlfriend. He said he's going steady. Is the way he described it.
Did he really?
Yeah, yeah. And he and Joanne were traveling and having fun. They just gotten back from
literally
the coast.
just gotten back.
Yeah, they had. In fact, I had texted him last week because I hadn't talked to him in probably. There weren't many weeks that went by that we didn't communicate one way or another, and I hadn't talked to him in probably a week or week and a half. And I said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I knew he was at the coast." I said, "Are you ever going to come home?" He said, "I'm not sure." He said, "I'll be home on Saturday." He said, "We're having a great time."
Good.
And I'll see you at lunch on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
Most of these coaches we talked about earlier, well, not most, but many of them have already gone on.
yeah.
And I just think about the reunion. You probably can't name them all, Winder, maybe not, but who the reunion that they had together. You just never know.
Yeah.
But I hope they're all there together. That's what I hope.
Yeah, I do
They're all
too.
there together, sharing and
Yeah.
having fun, and that was a unique group. Dean
Campbell.
No, Dean Campbell. I know
Dean
what
Slayton?
Dean Slayton. Dean Campbell's a godly man.
He is a
I mean, he is a
Dean
wonderful.
Slayton probably was too, but
Yeah.
he just expressed it.
He expressed it in a different way.
But he just seemed so nice when we would sing.
Dean Slayton.
Oh,
Yeah. Trust me,
but
he wasn't like that.
I heard he was just horrible.
All right, here, this will sum it up.
Tough.
Played basketball on Monday night at First Baptist Church, and I've got Taylor with me, and we're leaving, and we look over, and the lights are on. They used to work out on Monday nights.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to take Taylor out there to practice. So we pull over, and we walk down, we're on the sidelines, and their little Dean's got his group over there, and he's just wearing them out and cussing. And then he looks up and sees Taylor, and he looks over at me and says, Sorry, Coach. I said, hey, Coach, he's got to learn those words somewhere.
But
he apologized for being him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Coach.
No, but Dean Slayton had a really unique way of coaching too, and they used to, they had offices next to each other, so it was a.
Are you talking about Coach Parker and Coach Slayton?
Parker, yeah, and they both, they coached the defensive line. Coach Parker had the ends, and Slayton had the tackles, so they worked together a lot. But anyway, I've got a pretty good story on that this afternoon. I'm going to tell at the service. So.
Well, you're just baiting everybody.
Yeah.
Well, you need to come to the service.
Come to the service if you want to.
I'm going. I can't wait now.
Yeah, it's gonna
How long are you going to talk, you think? Quite a while?
No, I'm not. I'm going to be short and sweet.
All right.
Yeah. It'll be hard enough to get up there.
Oh, I know it. This is like Gary said it, I think, really well when we started. It's like your second dad.
He was, yeah.
I mean, really, they were that close.
Yeah.
Spike and Doyle.
Our families were. I mean, I described it as a band of gypsies traveling together. And it's really what we were. I mean, we were. We'd pack up and move, and it was so comforting to know that you had a family there that was going through the same thing you were. Rusty and Donnice and Kim and Doyle's great wife Shirley, and we were just very fortunate. Yeah, he did.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.